Hi everyone, I'm here today with my friend Ilse. Look how much taller I am than Ilse. She's just a cute little petite thing. So I asked Ilse if it was okay if I recorded her, and she said it was. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear her because she's got such a quiet little voice and I'm so loud. So, Ilse, what year were you born?
I was born in 1929.
1929. Okay, and where were you born?
I was born in Sumatra, Indonesia.
Sumatra, Indonesia. Okay. And how big was your family? Was it just you?
No, I had 4 sisters and 2 brothers.
That's why we get along, because I have 5 daughters and she has 5 girls in her family. That's why we're friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had 5 girls and 2 boys. And what were your family doing in Indonesia?
My father was head of the post office in Jakarta, you know.
Jakarta,
yeah. Indonesia. See, Indonesia was a property of Holland, a colony of Holland. You know, and now ask me questions.
Okay, ask you questions. We're working on this because I already asked her all these questions a few years ago, and I wanted to videotape her. Did you think of something? But she moved far away from me, and I got a phone call today that she has moved back to the area, and I said, first thing, I was so excited. She said, "You're hyper." And I said, "I'm not hyper. I'm just excited that you're back because I wanted to record your story." So as soon as I knew she was back, first thing I said, "Can I record you?" And she said, "What? You don't want to record me, right?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I do want to record you. Her story is fascinating to me." Okay, so her father worked at the post office, and it was owned by Dutch Holland, and her home is filled with some beautiful Dutch blueware and things. And I've known Ilse for, I think the first time I met her was about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. It's been a while. And then I was having some health problems, needed some help getting her dogs groomed, so I would go pick her up and the dog and take it and some other things, and then she moved. And so I wanted to share her story. It's wonderful that she's willing to do this for me. She's not sure she's still excited to do this, but she's willing to do this. So I have to think of the questions in the best order. So what was your earliest memory in Indonesia?
My earliest memory?
Yes. What was life like before the war?
We had a wonderful childhood. It was beautiful. Indonesia is beautiful. Always sun and sea. And everybody was working for the government because Indonesia was still a colony of Holland. So all Europeans were working in Indonesia.
So life was pretty good?
Oh, beautiful. It was beautiful.
And what would your days be like as a child with there?
Nice, good. I was the youngest. I was really the youngest.
Okay.
My sisters were, my youngest sister was 8 years older than I was. My other sisters were already engaged, you know. So I was the baby, the really baby.
Lucky
in the
you.
family. Yeah, I was spoiled.
You got spoiled?
Oh yes, I was so spoiled.
Okay, so you were the youngest. Life was very good. What was a typical day like for you?
Well, going to school when you're 6 years old. We had European schools in Holland and in Indonesia. We all went to school. So after life was wonderful, just so good. I was so spoiled. rotten.
But that was a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when you were 11, was that when stuff started to happen?
12 years
12
old.
years old. Okay, what happened when you were 12?
At 12 years old, the war broke out. Indonesia was invaded by the Japanese, and all the all the
Military taken over?
it was invaded by Japan.
Mhm.
Japan.
So what happened to the colonists that were living there when Japan invaded?
All the men, all the men, they were in a
Enlisted?
no, they were captured, and
Okay,
they had
because
to
it
go.
was invaded, they didn't have time to enlist or go to
No.
war. They just were taken,
Yeah,
captured.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so all the men on the island
Yeah,
of European descent or all descent?
they were all in jails.
So they
were,
captured
yeah,
all of the men, not
all-
just the Englishmen, but all of the Indonesians as well?
No,
No,
not the Indonesians.
just the European descent
and
men.
then the women, we all went to camps.
So they sent
Camps.
the women and children to concentration camps? Is that what they
Yes,
called them?
yes.
Or internment camps?
Yeah.
What did they call them?
Internment.
Internment
Yes.
camps. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm hugging her so that you can hear me hopefully on the video. I feel like I'm giving her no space, but it's so that the sound. I tried a microphone and it didn't work, so that's why I'm sitting so close to her, so
Yeah.
hopefully you can hear my voice. So they took all the women and children and put them in internment camps. And then
Yes.
how was that like for you? How did your life change?
My mother and all my sisters and me, of course, I was only 12 years old. We were all captured, and we all lived in camps,
So were the camps
So
on Indonesia or were they somewhere else?
in Indonesia.
Okay, so the
in
camps
in Jakarta.
Okay, so there was internment camps in
Yeah.
Jakarta and you
Yeah.
were in internment camps.
Yeah, in all the cities.
And all the cities
yeah.
had camps for the
Yeah.
women and children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were 12
Yeah,
and your
I
life
was
went
12.
from fun and playing and
No school.
So then no school
No
in the camps?
school for 4 years.
So no school on the
No,
camps. What did
no.
your daily history
And-
happen? What did you do every day?
We just nothing, really.
They didn't have anything for you to do. They didn't
No.
work you. You just were captured.
That was people couldn't teach you nothing. The teachers were not even allowed to teach people.
So you couldn't have any school? You didn't
No.
have any, did you have any religious services or any,
No.
you couldn't gather together at all?
And then we were guarded by the Japanese, and that was really, really scary, of course, because,
They have guns?
they have swords.
They carried swords?
Yeah, and one of my sisters, she didn't bow for I never forget that. She didn't bow for one of the Japanese.
She didn't bow before one of the soldiers?
And then she got hit by.
Did he hit her with his fist or slap her? Or
with that sword.
Side of the sword? He
Yeah,
swacked her with the side of the
yes.
sword?
Yeah.
So you had to bow every time they'd come by, or just at certain
Yes.
times? Every time they came by, you have to bow. How?
Yeah.
Just with your head, or did you have to bow at the
you have
waist?
to like this.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't hear that
Yeah.
part. So you were guarded by Japanese. They had swords. You had to bow in front of them if they came by. And your sister was being a little belligerent one time, and they.
No, she didn't think about it,
Oh, she wasn't used to it, so she just didn't do it
Yeah.
because it wasn't normal, and then
Yeah.
she got swatted. Well, I bet she bowed after that.
Yeah. And then my brother, he was with the Navy,
Hmm.
and he got his ship got torpedoed, and he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He drowned,
So he was older, and he got
Yeah.
enlisted into the
Yeah,
war, and then he
yeah.
was torpedoed on a ship, and he died.
Yeah.
What ship was he serving
It
on?
was the Piet Hein.
The Pitten?
No, Piet.
Beat?
Piet.
Pete.
P-I-E-T.
Pete?
Hein.
H-E-I-N?
Uh-huh.
Petine?
Yes.
Petine.
Yes.
Okay. Petine. And what kind of a ship was that?
That was a warship, you know.
Okay. So he was just on a
From the
warship and then
Netherlands, yeah.
from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So were your older siblings, so you were youngest, so some of them lived in Holland then? Netherlands?
Nobody
Netherlands?
lived in. After the war, we went to Holland.
After the war?
Well, this was another story.
Okay. So I'm confused though. How did your brother get in the war if all the men were put into...
No, in Indonesia, he was with the Navy.
Oh, he was already
Yeah,
in the Navy
yeah.
before. Okay, that's where I was
Yes.
confused. So he was
Yeah.
already in the Navy.
Yeah.
And he was on a ship and
Yeah.
got enlisted in the war because he was on the ship
Yeah.
already, and then he was torpedoed. Okay, so that's where I was confused. I was trying to put the story together. Okay, so he was in the, what was his name?
His name was Addie.
Addie. So
Yeah.
Addie passed away on the
Yeah.
ship, and then was your other brother in the...
My sister was married. One of my sister's husband, he worked on the railroad. He had to work for the Japanese on the railroad.
They had him working? Okay.
Uh-huh. And he died.
And he died while he was working? Was he
Yeah.
killed by the Japanese, or was he just not fed well, or did he have an accident? He wasn't fed well?
He just
And they worked him hard?
didn't survive.
Oh, that's so sad. So your sister's husband passed away,
Yeah.
and what about your other brother? Was he in the military as well?
No, he wasn't.
He
No.
wasn't? What happened to
He
him?
survived. He survived.
He did? What was
Yes.
his name?
His name was Peter.
Peter, okay. And then were your four sisters also in the internment camp with you, or were they elsewhere?
Yeah, they were.
All of them? So all of you were together?
Yes.
And your mother?
My mother and my sisters.
Okay, so what were your mother's and your sister's names?
My mother's name was Bertha,
Okay.
and my
Sisters?
sisters were, one was named Angeline, and one was Gretchen, and one was Vera, one was Nellie, and then that's me. And me.
Okay. Vera, was that short for something?
Vera.
It was Vera. So were those all their given names, or were those your nicknames for them?
No, they were
Nellie was actually her name?
Nellie. Yeah.
I think that's a cute name. Okay. So you are all in internment camps. Were any of the other women, your sisters, married? You're the one who was married to the railroad worker, and he passed away. Were any of the other ones married?
Yeah. My older sisters, he was in a camp somewhere.
So he was in jail somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other, everybody was in jail.
But the men and women were separate
Yeah.
because they were more in a
Yeah.
prison and you were more in a camp.
Yeah.
So what were the barracks like? Did you all stay in one little shack, or were you all in just rooms with beds?
No, we were all together.
So there's no privacy. One big room with all the beds.
There are big rooms and yeah.
And then the showers, were they in the same building? Or did you have to go outside to go to the bathroom and the showers?
We have to go outside.
So they had one big bathroom for the different buildings? Or did you each building have its own bathroom? Or did the whole camp share the same bathrooms?
Just a couple of bedrooms.
For all of the buildings?
Yeah.
And about how many of the big buildings were in each camp? Or in your camp?
How many buildings?
Yeah, so you were in a big building with a bunch of women.
Yeah.
Were there, how many of those buildings with
They
women?
were really houses, you know. Houses next to each other.
The houses? Okay, so how many women would be in one house or one building?
Oh, maybe 20.
Okay, so 20. How many of those houses of 20 women were there on the camp? Was it pretty big, or were they smaller camps?
It was big.
It was big.
Uh-huh.
And then they had a few bathrooms for all those different houses with all the women in it.
Yeah.
So 20 women in a house is not too bad unless they're all really hormonal. Were there a lot of cat fights?
Oh. But
nothing to fight over, right?
was,
There's no bathrooms. There's no food, nothing to do. The food is there. You have to eat what they give you.
All they give you is a little bit rice. Oh, I couldn't eat it because it was red rice with just the vegetables, and I could not eat that red rice. So what
Are you saying red rice or rat rice?
Rat
rice?
R-E-D.
Oh, red rice. Like, are you saying red rice or rat rice? So red rice and vegetables.
Yeah, so I could not eat that. So what I did was, see, in Indonesia, you just plant some and it comes up,
Because it's humid and
like vegetable. So we had a lot of sweet potatoes.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I ate the whole 4 years. I ate that food.
You ate sweet potatoes for 4 years.
Yes.
So would you just cut a piece of the sweet potato off and plant it, and then it would grow into more tubules?
Yeah.
Wow.
And after the war, I swelled up like a balloon. And you know what it was? It was lack of vitamins. Yeah. And you know that sickness, what they call beriberi?
Beriberi,
Yeah. Okay, that's what I had.
Because all you ate was sweet potatoes for 4 years.
Yeah.
So the red rice, was it grown in Indonesia? Was it something that they had normally there, or was it brought in by the Japanese to feed you?
Yeah.
So it was made in Japan, it was grown in Japan, and they brought it in to feed you, and you couldn't eat it.
Oh, no.
Okay. Your body just couldn't eat it? It couldn't digest it?
I could just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what they fed everybody for 4 years, was the red rice.
And then
and then you
red
got
rice.
Red rice.
That vegetables.
With vegetables. Could you eat the vegetables?
No, I could not eat anything.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry about that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
You don't even hear about beriberi anymore, so that's interesting that you had that.
Yeah, I had that. See, you swell up, and then you just put your fingers in your... And it stays there,
Edema.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All these things I didn't know. So you ate that for 4 years, and then how did everybody not steal your potatoes when you grew the yams? Did you not tell them you were eating them?
No, I was just,
So you just you would go dig one out and eat it? Did you cook it or eat it raw?
Yeah, I cooked it.
You cooked it? Okay, because I know you like rice, because when I visited you last time you had rice. So you like white rice, just the red rice was too rough for you to eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was awful.
Okay. And so daily things, did they make you get up at a certain time, or did they just leave you to sleep in and get up and do your own thing?
No, then you have to, like in the army, you have to come together and then do
roll call. So they would wake you up at what time, do you think?
Oh, very early, 6 o'clock.
So they'd get you up at 6 and do, was it with a trumpet or a loud noise?
All those exercises, what the Japanese
They made you do their exercises? And then, so they do roll call and then have you do exercises, and then what? Did they make you clean the bathrooms and clean the houses?
Oh, yeah. And when you, one of these ladies, she died though. The camp, we call it the Campe Thai. That's the Japanese Gestapo,
Good. Okay, what is it called? Gestapo? Campe
Thai.
Thai.
Yeah, that's the German.
Campe Thai. That's the Gestapo.
Yeah.
So you would get up, you'd exercise. Did you do your chores right then, or did they feed you first? And then,
no.
So would they give you 3 meals a day, or would they give you like 1 or 2 meals a day?
Just 2.
2 meals a day, so morning and evening. And then right after, would you eat dinner and then they'd put you right to bed, or how did that work?
Oh, we can sit together, visit the ladies, some.
In your only the ones in your house, or
Yeah.
could you meet together with the ones in the
No,
other houses?
no.
Only the women in your house.
Uh-huh.
So did they ever get you together with all the other women in the camp, other than the exercising and stuff?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
It was too big.
It's a big camp. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So what did you do between exercising in the morning and eating dinner?
Just sit and all.
No needlework or crocheting or...
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I made little panties, you know.
Crochet?
No,
Needlepoint. Knitting.
Yeah,
So they would let you knit?
yeah.
Okay. Did you know how to knit before you went in there, or did you learn because you were sitting there?
No, I think I learned it there. I don't know.
Just being there with the women?
Forgot.
Something to do?
Yeah, we were knitting, and then some were crochet and some made little. My mother made little animals.
Out of crocheting or knitting?
No.
Carving?
Out of
Wood.
no,
Glass?
not wood. Not wood. Clothes.
Sewing.
So yeah,
So they would take old clothes and make little animals?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
my mother did.
Okay. So whatever they could, you didn't throw anything away, I'm
No.
sure. So when you'd have clothes that would break down or whatever, they'd make them into little animals or so, hand stitch some things.
Yeah, for 4 years.
Oh my goodness. Well,
No school.
that's crazy.
You know.
And no boys. At 12 years old,
No.
no boys.
16 years old.
So from 12 to 14, you were...
No, 16 years old, they took them away.
Once the
They
girls...
could stay till 16.
Oh, the boys could stay in the camps till they were 16?
Yeah.
And then they put them with the men when they became 16?
Yes.
Oh, so there were boys.
Yes.
So that's what you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you did for 4 years, is flirt with the boys? Okay, so would the boys stay in the same houses with the women?
Yeah.
Okay, until they were 16.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that could get you into trouble.
Yeah.
If there was some cute 14-year-olds.
Yeah, but those Japanese, you know, my mother, when she hears footsteps, you know,
Yeah.
she sends the girls back. We had to go under the bed
Oh.
because she was so afraid, you know.
Worried about the Japanese soldiers.
Yeah.
So she kept you safe by having you, if she heard them come around, she'd stick you under the bed?
Yeah. We all had to go, all 4 of us had to go under the bed.
So there was only 4 of 3 of your sisters and you still there?
4.
4 plus you.
Yeah.
So all 5 of you went under the bed.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You confused me there for a minute. So you would hide under the bed if a soldier came around.
Yeah.
So there were a problem with the women maybe getting assaulted in the... No.
That was really a no-no.
It was a no-no.
With the Japanese, no.
Okay, so you were safe. She just didn't want you to get in trouble, or what? Why would she stick you under the bed
Because she was afraid that for the Japanese that maybe they would do something, you know.
But they didn't in the camps?
No.
There was nothing like that? That's good.
Not really.
So you were okay, safe that way?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Goodness sakes. The stories. So the boys, did you ever get to socialize with the boys that were in the other houses at all?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get to play games in the yard? Like, could you play ball or exercise soccer or anything like that? No? No playing outside?
No.
You could just talk or visit?
Yeah. Because those Japanese, they were mean. And they were not only Japanese, but Koreans. Those are the meanest.
So the Koreans, did you not feel safe with the Koreans around?
They were fighting with the Japanese, you know.
Oh.
There were a lot of Koreans on
on the island
Yeah.
there. So how did you get out of the camps then? When the Japanese surrendered, is that
Yes.
they just withdraw and then you guys just walked out?
And then what happened? A revolution.
In Indonesia?
Yeah. See, the Indonesians, they wanted their freedom, you know.
That's understandable.
Because Holland was still
in charge there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens on a lot of the little islands, like
Yeah.
even in the Caribbean.
So a revolution after the war broke out. So you know what happened? All those, a lot of Europeans people, they got murdered by the Indonesians.
Okay.
Who wanted their freedom, you know. I mean,
so
that was the revolution after the war.
So they saw that as their chance to gain back their island and have control of their own island. Yeah. So they killed anybody that was maybe in power of the Dutch power prior to the war. So they killed anybody. Was it not just all Dutch, but just the people in power?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what happened? So the Indonesian people got their power back and got their country back. And then what happened to you guys?
All the Europeans and Dutch people, we had to go back to Holland in big boats, you know, really big boats. And we all the Europeans that were living, that survived in Indonesia, we went for a month. We in the boats to Holland. Okay. Then we finally arrived in Holland, and Holland was, of course, occupied by the Germans. You know, they were bombed and whole Rotterdam, Amsterdam, everything was flat, you know, I mean, bombed, and there was no housing, and there, all the Europeans, we had to go back to Holland. Oh my, that was so horrible. It was cold in Holland, of course, no housing, you know, we couldn't find the first month we stayed with my mother's sister, my mother's sister lived in Holland and she was occupied by the Germans.
Okay, and what was her name?
Her name was, wait a minute, and she was a sister. Gosh, I forgot her name.
So your mother's name?
Oh, Lily.
Lily?
Aunt Lily.
Okay, so Lily lived in Holland and stayed in Holland, your mother's sister.
Yeah.
So when you got there was no housing, everything was bombed,
so
all these refugees are now being dumped back into the country. And how was the food situation?
Everything was on a coupons, you know.
Oh, the military coupons.
Yeah.
What are those called? Those little tickets they give you for, what's the name of those? Anyway, so I understand. Yeah, voucher. So they give you a food voucher.
Yeah.
Okay, so they give you vouchers. Yeah. So the refugees were at least getting food through the voucher system.
Yeah.
And was there enough food to go around?
Pretty good. But, see, we stayed, and then we got a little apartment where we lived, just my sister, my mother, my father, me, in a one bedroom.
So all of you lived in a one bedroom apartment, but you were grateful for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
After living with 20 people in a house in the camp. And the bathroom situation must have been horrific.
Yeah.
Would they let you shower every day or how often would you shower in the camps?
In the camps?
Yeah.
Oh, not very much. We had to fight for the showers.
So how often would you get a shower in the camps?
Oh, maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
But then in Indonesia, it was really, when it rained, it poured, muson.
Muson, monsoon.
So we all go
Outside?
outside.
Oh, you dance in the rain.
Yeah.
Yay! Gotta dance and get clean. Washed your clothes at the same time. I love it. We had a horrible rainstorm this week, and I told my daughters, this is the kind I would go outside in my clothes and dance in when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I just loved the rain.
We did that.
Oh, that's cute. I'm glad I asked that. So that's a cute story. Next time I dance in the rain in my clothes, I'm going to think of you, Ilse. Okay, so when you got back to Holland and you were in the 1-bedroom apartment, how long did it take you to get the apartment?
And my father had to pay a lot of money, to.
So did you have money that you were able to bring? When they put you in the camps, what happened to all your belongings? Did the Japanese just take them?
Oh, we lost it. We had a beautiful house in Indonesia, like a villa,
Mm-hmm.
and we lost everything.
So you got to take nothing but what?
Nothing.
A couple clothes
Yeah.
or no clothes?
Yeah.
Did you get to take clothes with you?
Yeah.
So you had to take your clothes,
We
lost
everything.
all your belongings.
My father lost everything.
And no bank, no money, no
No.
gold, no silver, nothing. And
No.
then, so when they sent you
And
back,
we were very wealthy,
Mhm.
but we lost everything.
so but he got his life. At least he survived.
Yeah.
So then you got to take the boat.
Yeah.
So you had nothing on the boat because you just had a few clothes.
Yeah.
And so you just got on this boat. Who fed the boat? Who fed the people on the boat? Was it the Holland people?
Yeah.
So they had food. And
Yeah, we had good food on the
good
boat.
food.
Yes.
So when did you get berry then?
Oh, in Indonesia.
You were sick in Indonesia
Oh,
in the
yeah.
camps.
Yeah.
Okay. And did they have medical for you there then?
No.
No? So how did they cure you? Oh, okay. She was miraculously healed from beriberi. And then, so you were on the boats for about a month.
Yeah, they gave me vitamins when I came in Holland.
Yeah, so they gave you some vitamins in Holland.
Vitamins,
That helped. Okay.
yeah, and then finally
the swelling went down finally. So when you were staying with your mom's sister, how long did you stay with her?
Oh, about 3 months, and then we found this
the apartment.
room.
So you were with her for 3 months, and it was winter because it was cold.
Oh God, talking about cold. See, Indonesia was warm
all the
and
time.
then we came in Holland, and oh my gosh,
the humid cold.
Oh, it was terrible. Then my mother got so sick. She didn't survive. She got sick, and then she died.
How long were she in Holland before she passed away?
Well, a couple of years.
So it was just more than she could take.
Yeah.
My daughter went and served a mission in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And she came home in mid-snow storm, and she couldn't get warm. Yeah. She was just so cold for so long.
She got
that cold. Yeah. She just.
The Philippines is exactly like.
Yeah. Yeah, she was in a really warm, hot place in the Philippines, and she just couldn't get warm.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay, so you got in the 1-room apartment, and then what did your father do? How did you provide for yourselves?
Oh, my father was already
employed.
Pension.
Oh, pension. So the government would give him the pension, and then you would pay for the apartment. Very expensive, 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
Did you share a bathroom with other tenants, or did you have your own bathroom in your apartment?
I think we had our own.
Okay. Yeah. So it wasn't a tenement housing where you shared the bathroom.
No.
Okay. And then what did you do? So did you go back to school at that point then? You were 14?
Listen to this. No school for 4 years, okay? When I came in Holland, I had to go to high school. High school. I was in Indonesia,
young. You were 12, yeah.
12. End of the elementary school. So I skipped all those
in between classes.
Yes.
And how did you do once they put you in the high school?
Well, I made it. But
it was hard for you?
Oh God. Oh my gosh. And see, Europe has a really, really difficult system.
School system.
Yes. Yeah.
So, did you have a boyfriend in the camps, or did you just no? And then when you went to Holland, did you feel like you fit in, or did you feel like they looked down on you because you were a refugee,
No.
or did you feel like you did okay?
I did okay.
You didn't feel like looked down on you.
Oh no.
Your clothes. Did everybody was bombed and everybody was trying to survive? And
no, because Holland was bombed too. You know?
Yeah. So everybody was just surviving.
Yeah.
Okay. So you jumped back into school.
Yeah.
You're 14, 15. Did you get to how long did it take?
No, I was not. I was older. I was 12. I was 16.
16. I can't add today. Sorry.
16.
16. So you get back there just at the time to start dating-ish.
Yeah.
And were there very many boys? Did the boys in Holland have to serve in the military, or how did that work?
Yeah, not when they had my age. We went all to school.
Okay, so there was
high school.
Was there very many similar boys to girl ages? Was there the same amount of boys as girls, or was there a lot more girls than boys, or was it about the same?
About more girls.
More girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I made it. I finished high school. Then I went to a business school.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned typing and shorthand in all languages, you know.
So how many languages do you speak?
I speak 5 languages. That's why I see when we came here in the States, my husband and I.
Yeah.
I had so much education that I could find a job in 5 days.
You could always get a job because you speak 5 languages. So which languages do you speak?
I speak French, German, Indonesian, Dutch, and English.
Okay, can you count to 10 in all those languages for me?
Which one?
Just French first.
1, 2, 3.
I can do that much. I'm challenging your memory from 70 years ago or whatever. How old are you?
89.
Oh my goodness, she's 89. I'm challenging. I'm challenging what? Like I said, I can't do math today. It's over 70 years of memory here. You haven't probably spoken French in a lot of years.
Yeah, and then German.
So how did you know German? Okay, German, Dutch, right? So that makes sense. How did you know French?
We had to learn that at high school. We had to learn all those languages.
In high school, you had English, German, French. Well, not Indonesian at that point.
No.
You learned that from in the islands.
Yeah.
And then Dutch.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense. You would learn all of those because So you were born in Indonesia?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, your dad was there when you were born.
Yeah, Indonesia was a colony of Holland.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Caribbean islands. My brother's down in there, and they have the Dutch pottery. People would throw it on the ships, and then they'd make jewelry out of it.
Oh.
So, because those islands traded hands a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you went to business school, and then when did you meet your husband?
I met my husband.
Was he at school? Did you meet him at school, or did you meet him at church? Did you meet him in a social?
A friend of my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he introduced you and set you up on a date?
And then we,
So what was your first date?
My first date?
What was dating like in the post-war?
It was okay.
Was all right?
We went to movies and, you know,
So did things
and dancing.
So did things recuperate pretty quickly in Holland then after the war?
Yeah.
They rebuilt
Yeah.
everything pretty
Yes.
quickly. And what did your dad just did a pension? Did he find work after that, or
No, he was already.
he just retired?
Yeah, he retired.
Okay. And then your husband, you got married, and then did you have kids over in Holland, or did you have them
No, in Holland.
in Holland? And then you came to the U.S. Why?
Because my husband's brother, he lived in California, and he said, "Oh, the you have to go to the United States. It's really nice up there." And he was, you know.
So what did your husband do before you moved to the U.S.?
He worked for the railroads.
Okay. And then when you moved to the U.S., what did he do?
Then he became a cook in the hospital.
Oh.
I had a job after 10 days I was here, and I had a job.
Well, that's because you're so amazing.
Yeah. No, I was so good at typing and shorthand, you know.
Yeah, so secretarial work.
Yeah.
My grandmother she was a law secretary for years, and she was so organized. Everything was in triplicate. She'd always put the carbon paper and type up 3 copies of everything.
Yeah, I was really, really good. And even if I have to say it, I was really, really,
it's okay. You brag.
Really good at typing.
Really good typing. You know what? I am very good at typing too.
Yeah.
My computer keyboard is in front of her, and all the letters are worn off. And when I took my last computer, it was my 3rd keyboard because I wear them down typing.
I know. I was really good. So I had jobs
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, too bad you don't need typing anymore. You just talk and it types for you.
Yeah. But I had good jobs here. I worked for the school system, and my husband got transferred all the time. He worked for the Holiday Inns, you know.
A Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then he got transferred, and then
first we came in California. Then we stayed there 2 years. Then my husband got transferred to Champaign, Illinois. Do you know where that is?
Well, where in California? You didn't say where.
In California?
Where in California?
Oh, that was
Sacramento?
San Leandro.
San Leandro?
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, it's close to Hayward and Oakland.
Oakland, okay. So Oakland, California, then to Illinois?
Illinois.
Oh, Champaign, Illinois.
To the University of Illinois.
Okay, and then where?
And then we went to Denver.
Okay, to Colorado.
For the Holiday Inns.
Okay, and then where?
And then Salt Lake City.
Okay,
and then we stayed there
for a while. Okay, so what did you do at all those places? Did you find a job in California and
me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I found a job right away. And Champaign in Illinois, I worked for the school system.
Okay.
Junior high school. Yeah, I loved that job.
Did you? And how many kids did you have?
Just one.
Just one? And what's his name?
Renee.
And I personally my kids knew one of her grandsons, and I didn't know.
Whose grandson?
Yours, Jory.
Oh, Jory, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that I knew her and I knew him, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. It took me a minute. But so my kids know one of her grandsons. But anyway, so what is your favorite memory of Indonesia?
My favorite memory is before the war.
Before the war.
Me and my family all together, my sisters and brothers.
Birthday or holiday, was it?
Birthday and Christmas.
Yeah. You get together for that. And then what is your favorite Holland memory?
The same, though. The same.
Family?
Yeah, family. Yeah.
Okay. And say I love my family very much in Indonesian. Can you say that?
I love my family.
Mm-hmm.
Saya
It's been 75 years or so.
Yeah. Saya laku family.
Okay, say it in Dutch.
Wat?
I love my family.
Ik hou van mijn family. Ik hou van mijn familie.
Okay.
Ik hou
Ik hou
van
van
mijn
mijn
familie.
family. Ik hou van family. Probably not understandable.
Say it again. Ik hou
hou van
veel van
fun. I got the fun one down. I got that part down.
mijn
Family.
familie.
Good thing my life doesn't depend on me saying that. Okay. All right. So then say it in German. Can you say it in German?
Ik hou van mijn familie. Ik liebe my familien.
Okay.
Ik liebe dich.
Ik liebe dich. I don't speak anything but English, and even then I can't think of the words half the time. Okay, and what about French? I love my family in French.
Oh, je t'aime, mon Dieu.
We both love our family. We might not be able to say it in very many languages, but I think we both love our families. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. And then, so I know you have a nephew. And so did your sister's family also come to America? Or was it your husband's family that came to America?
No, my husband's family.
Your husband's family also came to America. And did they travel to where you were, or did they just come after you were settled a little bit, or did a lot of them come at the same time?
No, one came in
near the same time?
No, just my brother-in-law and his family.
Wife. Okay.
And then my sister-in-law. She lives in Salem.
Okay.
Oregon.
So, what year did you move to the United States?
66.
That was before I was even here. That's been a long time. So we've been here almost the same amount of time. Oh, kind of. All right. So let me think. Is there any other questions? What's your worst memory of being in the camps?
My worst memory?
Mm-hmm.
That was when my sister got hit.
Okay. And what was your... Did somebody do some kindnesses while you were in the camp? Is there any good stories that you feel good about? No? Somebody treated you kindly? Somebody gave you something other than a yam? Or is there any positive memories that you have of the other women or the people in the houses with you? Was there were they all very kind to each other? Or was it like, I want that? Or...
sometimes that was not good.
but other times they were taking care of each other? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So any other memories that
you have? And I had a couple of friends. I still know their names.
What's their names, your friends?
Yeah. One that was my best friend. It's Ellie de Jong.
Ellie de Jong?
Yeah, and then you have Lydia Bernhoff.
Bernhoff?
Yeah. And
Or Bernholt or Bernhaupt?
Bornhaupt.
Bernhaupt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there is Evie Reurman.
Was it Avi or Evie?
Evie.
Evie?
Yeah.
Reurman.
Reurman.
Yeah. How would you spell Reurman?
Okay. Reurman. R-O-H-R.
Roman.
And then M-A-N.
Roman. Yeah. You roll your R's very well. We had this discussion with my kids yesterday, and only half of them can roll their R's.
Oh.
They can't. They're like, how do you do that? We had this discussion literally like yesterday afternoon. We were trying to say something, and only half of my kids can roll their R's. So you do that very well.
Reurman. Can you say Scheveningen?
Scheveningen. Am I saying it right? Scheveningen. I don't know why that's funny, but no, I can't.
I have the biggest. When I ask you guys, can you say Scheveningen?
Siphoning?
No. Scheveningen.
Scheveningen. What am I saying? Is it like something funny that I'm saying? Or?
No, that is a place close to The Hague.
Oh.
And it's
is it a town?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the sea.
On the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scheveningen.
Apparently not. I can't say it.
But no, not one American can say that.
Spell it. What am I saying?
Yeah. Scheveningen.
Scheveningen. I don't know. Scheveningen. Oh, well, no, I can't say it apparently.
Larson, you know, what's
yeah.
the name?
Yeah. Margie.
Yeah, Margie. Her husband, Dennis, I told him, say Scheveningen. And he could not say
Scheveningen. The Dutch and German languages can be very hard.
Yeah.
There, do that.
And you know, Gwen,
Gwen,
yeah, her husband and her, they were in Holland for a couple of years, you know.
So can she say it?
No!
Apparently none of us can say Scheveningen.
She lived in Holland for a couple of years because he was in the oil, I think.
But, okay.
Douglas.
But I lived in New Zealand and I can't, you know, you don't pick up the accent just because you live there. I can go into it if I'm around people that speak the same way, so I can go into the accent of who I'm around, but yeah. Some people are really good with those. I'm not so good with those. So, okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you want to...
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It's funny for you because you can say it. But I feel like I'm spitting when I try and say it. Scheveningen.
Not schreef.
No.
Scheef.
They sound the same.
Scheveningen.
It sounds the same to me. I don't know. Oh, you got me laughing so much I'm going to cry. Oh, gosh. Okay, apparently I can't say the town name. Good thing I'm not from there, but I don't have to say it. Okay, anything else?
No.
No? Where did you get your Dutch ware? Did you get that in Holland?
What?
The blue vases and things.
Yeah.
Is that all from Holland?
I had way more.
I know. You used to have a ton. Big ones.
Yeah, when I moved, you know, I gave lots away to my family.
Yeah, she had. I almost want to show you. Is it okay if I show them a couple of your vases? I'll take the Japanese ones over there.
Sure.
Yeah, the video.
Oh.
I want to grab a couple. She's got these beautiful vases. They're gorgeous. Let me grab them.
Oh.
these. My daughter just got back from Japan.
How do you like the house?
I love it. I told you when I came in, it's beautiful.
Oh.
So I'm just going to show a couple of your vases. She's got a beautiful, oh, they won't hear me. I have to be sitting right in front of it. She's got a beautiful, beautiful plate on the walls. Holland. It's a blue plate. Look at how gorgeous this. She has a collection of these. She had really, really big ones in her old house, but now she's in a little condo, and it's probably better for her not to have to worry about the house. Look how beautiful that blue area is. Just beautiful. She's very minimalist. Even in her house was very minimalist.
What's that?
Where you didn't have a lot of things.
Oh.
I think because it seems like people who grew up with a few things, they don't hold attachments to lots of big things. And so that was the one thing she had in her home, was these big, beautiful vases, and even to small, beautiful. She's got some just little ones that over on her. Mm-hmm. But they're very pretty and they're fun. And you know she's from Holland when you see those on the wall, huh? Mm-hmm. Very fun. Anything else you want to say, you remember, or any thoughts about the war or your life or your family or... So you became, how did you become religious then?
Religious?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my husband worked for people that were just...
religious?
Yeah.
So when you were in Indonesia, did you go to church, or you have any religion at all?
Catholic.
You were Catholic? Okay. And then in Holland, were you...
I got married in a temple too, you know that?
No, I didn't. So you were Catholic in Holland, and then when you moved to America, you changed religions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure about that. I didn't know. So the Catholic Church was in the islands?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear about all sorts of different things. My brother says there's a lot of voodoo down in the islands where he...
Voodoo?
Yeah. Voodoo was based on early Christian religions. Some saints or something. I was looking at about that recently. I was watching a show about the islands and the different colonies, the French colonies and the Dutch colonies, and the islands traded hands a lot for whoever was... I don't know. I just reading. I don't know why I've been like, I guess maybe because my brother's there, but. All right. Anything else? No?
No, we had a wonderful life in Indonesia before the war. And
a wonderful life after the war. You got your family. Your family survived, most of them, and you were able to be with them. And so are any of your siblings survive as old as you? Because you're pretty old.
I know.
You can say that when you're old. It's so funny when you're little, you always want to tell everybody your age. And then you get in the middle and you're like, no, I don't want to tell anybody my age. And then you get to be older and you want to tell everybody your age. It's okay to tell people your age when you're older.
I don't want to tell anybody my age.
Why? It's amazing. I hope I'm in horrible shape and I'm half your age. I think you're amazing. You're in great shape. Her eyes are going a little bit, so she's been looking at me kind of. But, so I kept telling her, talk to the computer. But I think we've done okay. Hopefully the sound worked out and it's not too watery. I was trying to sit on top of her so we could get the video, but I'm proud. I'm grateful that she let me take this video because I wanted to videotape her story for years. I thought it was very amazing, her life.
How was it?
It was awesome. I think you're amazing. I think it was great. I videotaped another, my stepmother, just to describe who she is. I love her like a mother, but her mother, I was telling Ilse that her mother was on Hickam Air Force Base during Pearl Harbor. She worked at Hickam Air Force Base, and so I have videotaped her story. And I was just telling Ilse that I felt like it was important to share these stories of these internment camps and the war, because it's a lost thing. The people have passed on, and there's not very many left that have lived through those kind of things. And so I personally felt like it was important to document that history. And I just went to the Smithsonian with my children, and we went through the Holocaust Museum. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of people there. It was so crowded. I had a hard time being in there because I couldn't see the things because there's so many people were going. But that made me happy that people are remembering what happened, because I don't want it to be repeated. I think if we learn from the past, we can change the future. So I am grateful to Ilse for sharing her story with me. I've been wanting to do it for years, so I'm grateful she allowed me to do that today. So check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com.
And you know what?
What?
I'm amazed.
She's amazed by what?
That you can pronounce my name so good.
Oh, I don't know.
The most other people cannot.
You told me what your name was. I don't know. I think it's a cute name. So anyway, I check out my blog. Check out my other videos. I've got several historical ones on there. My father did a legend in the making one. You can check that one out on my channel, The Secret is Gratitude. And I hope you have a very, very blessed day. Do you want to say that in Dutch?
What?
Have a blessed day.
Ik hoop dat je een fijne dag hebt.
What she said.